All right, everybody. We are in. What was the name of this town? I want to say it was Yuba. Pretty little town. It's adorable. And I can actually drive my truck through here. Man, normally you come through a town like this and there's signs up all over the place saying no trucks, gotta find some other way to get around. Especially in Kansas. So I gotta turn up here. Steamboat Springs, 40 East. That was a cool little town. Craig, Colorado. That's what it is. Yeah. Craig, Colorado. That's where I'm at. Craig. Taking the scenic way back home. Should be interesting. I'm empty, so I don't have a whole lot to worry about with going up steep hills and stuff. I would never do this with a load. But I like seeing the mountains, boys. I like the mountains. hopefully my reception is good through this video, but man, I couldn't hardly do videos earlier whenever I was trying to film in Wyoming. It was terrible. There's a speed limit of 55 here? Come on. $65. All right, there we go. So for everybody listening, and my wife is the one who's commenting so far, today we had to put down our little weenie dog, Esther. She had a good run. She was, I don't know, 13 years old. But she had problems with her pancreas. She just ate anything. You put her outside, she'd eat anything. She'd eat frogs, sticks, bugs, grass, dirt. It didn't matter. She'd eat it. And over time, just eating whatever she wanted to, I guess it caught up with her finally. And yeah, had to pull the plug today. It was one of those things where I couldn't really wait to get back home, because I'm not going to be home till late tomorrow, and it sounded like she was going through it pretty bad. So rest in peace, Esther, a little weenie dog. We still got two dogs though. We still got Remy. She's about 14. We've had her since we met, since me and my wife met. She just showed up with Remy, found her in the street, and yeah, had her the entire time. She's outlived so many dogs. And then we got Duo. He's, I don't know, 4 years old. He's just big, dumb, and happy. Just a big, dumb dog. Sorry guys, I can't really keep up with the comments. I don't want to really take my eyes off the road too much, but thank you for your condolences on Esther. She was a sweet little dog. She was my wife's dog 100% though. She got her, I believe it was like a surprise for me, because my weenie dog died, Jojo. That was my boy. And he died because he was just too fat. His heart was too big. And yeah, he ate good. But he lived to about 12 years old. And then she surprised me with Esther. But Esther just became her dog. Esther was very different. She didn't understand some things like play. She didn't know what play was. She didn't know how to play. She was just a very reserved, quiet, just chill dog. She just liked to hang out and lay down, and that was her thing. Now when we first got her, she liked to escape the yard a lot, typical weenie dog. But as she got older, that habit, for the most part, went away. But she did get out somewhat recently. I think it was like a year or two ago, and I caught her on the surveillance footage because we couldn't figure out how she was getting out of the yard. And I looked at the surveillance footage, and there was just a little hole she found in the fence and crawled out of it. And she never would go far. People would call us, say, "Hey, we got your weenie dog." They'd be like 3 houses down. Now, Duo, one time he escaped because he's a jumper. He can jump like a deer. That's why we had to make a 8-foot tall freaking barricade around the backyard. But when we first got him, the fence wasn't tall enough. He jumped out, and we got a call like the next day, and the people were like a mile away, or a mile and a half, like they were on the other side of town. Like, dang. And they already had a name for him and everything. They called him Midnight. Kids liked him. I was like, yeah, he's a good dog. He's lucky that we found him, though, because nobody would go to the extent that we have gone with that dog as far as making sure he won't jump out of the yard, because he can jump. That dog can jump, and he can climb. Because I made that fence like 6 foot tall, and he was still getting over it. I was like, I know he's not jumping a 6-foot fence. And we looked at their surveillance footage, and that dang dog was climbing the fence. So I had to like make it where it came in at the top, like a prison fence. I mean, it's ridiculous the measures we had to go through to keep that dog in. I just wish it wasn't so fast with Esther, because like JoJo, his last 2 weeks, we kind of spoiled him. But and JoJo loved to eat. He loved bacon and stuff, so we spoiled him. But he got, in the last few days, that it's like he wouldn't even eat bacon. And it's like, oh, it's time. When this dog won't eat bacon, it's time. Man, these trees out here are beautiful. A lot of yellow. Esther has been with us at how many different locations? 4 different locations. She's been with us at the duplex, at the house we had in the first house we had, and then she was with us when we lived in a school bus for 2 years, and then the house we've been in now. I think 12, 13 years, I guess. I think she was about 13, I would guess. But I mean, that's a pretty good run for a dog, I think. I grew up on a farm, and dogs didn't live long on the farm because my dad growing up would just let them run around, and they get ran over, or they just run away. But he spoils his dogs now. He keeps them in the fence, and they keep them in the house. He just had to put his dog down. It seems like this year is the year of putting dogs down, because my grandma had to put her weenie dog down. My dad had to put his dog down, and then we had to put Esther down. Now Remy, she just keeps on ticking. She's like the Energizer Bunny. We've been told since I can remember, a long time ago, that, you know, the vet would say, oh, she's probably got a year or two left. And she just keeps going. She's probably, God, how old is she? What? She's probably 14. She's a Chihuahua mix, though. Chihuahuas live a very, very long time. I think Chihuahua males on average can live up to like 18 years. Sometimes even up to 20. I guess I'm going to have to put together a little book now for Esther, because I've done that for, I did that for JoJo, and I did that for Solo, which is what my channel is named after, AfterSolo. Kind of weird to say that. I feel like I've just grown accustomed or used to like putting dogs down. I don't know. Maybe it's because I wasn't there that it, or maybe it just hasn't hit me yet. I don't know. I know if I was there, I'd be a wreck right now. But I wish I could have been there. It's just like I said, it needed to be done today. It was time. But I think because I'm 1,000 miles away, it's just, I don't know, it's not hitting me like it normally would, because when you're there and you see the life go out of their eyes, it hits you, man. It hits you hard. JoJo he was the first dog I really had, like, it was my dog, and when they put him down, he was on my lap, and and of course, you know, they did the thing, and he went out, you know, pretty quick. He was dead. And wreck, I was sitting there crying, and then because his body went limp and all his muscles went limp, he took a big old crap on me, and so that was embarrassing. I'm sitting there crying, and I got shit on my clothes, and I'm like, oh, just let me go out the back door of this place, because I was at the vet, and it's like, come on, don't let me be seen like this, crying with poop on me. This ain't no way. I don't want to be seen like this by the public. Now, my wife, she said when she went to the vet originally, and she was gonna, because she had to go there twice today. The first time she went, the people at the veterinarian's office were like, "Yeah, it's probably time," and because I think I think she was kind of wanting to go ahead and pull the plug, and then I guess Esther seemed like she was kind of acting normal again, and so she decided not to. And then she called me up, and I was like, "You can like just go with your instinct, go with your gut feeling." And we kind of talked about it, and she went ahead and decided to do it. And it kind of reminded me of when when it was time for JoJo to go, and I didn't want to pull the plug on him because I was so attached to him, and I almost backed out several times. And I remember she was like, "No, he's in pain, he's suffering, we need to do this." And I was glad that she was there to, reason with me, because some people don't have that, and the dog just suffers for sometimes for years. And it's always good to have somebody that you can listen to and you can trust, that you'll take their advice, because I don't know, sometimes people don't have that person, and they just won't listen to anybody. And by the time they put the dog down, the dog practically had been dead for a year anyway. Dog be deaf and blind, couldn't even eat hardly. It's hard pulling the plug when it's your dog, and it's definitely my wife's dog. Anytime that my wife was gone from the house, Esther might chill with me on the couch, maybe. But then the second that my wife came home, Esther was like, "Oh, forget about you. Like, mommy's home now. It's time to chill with mommy." And I could steal Esther away from her, but the minute I let go of her, she's like, "Yeah, I'm going back. I'm going back to mommy. Like, nice seeing you, but you know the deal." And I was like, I get it. That's your person. So I've just read a little bit there at the end. My wife said that she definitely needed to hear that from me. I'm assuming the part about making the decision to pull the cord on Esther. I'm assuming that's what you're talking about. But yeah, I mean, it's good to have some clarity and some transparency on that, just so you don't feel like you're by yourself. And that's not a good feeling when you don't really know if you did the right thing or not, and nobody really wants to tell you, So, no, it was the right decision. But it is hard when you do know somebody that, like, maybe an aunt, or maybe a grandma, maybe just a friend, and you see their dog and you're like, this dog is miserable, and it's like you don't know how to tell that person that it's time to take the dog to the vet and have them put down, because I don't know, it's a hard thing to, like, be upfront with somebody about. And I think a lot of people probably feel like they're going to be met with a lot of defensiveness on that, and Yeah. So sometimes people just don't say anything because really, if you say it one time and they're really defensive about it, you might not ever say it again to them because you know that they're going to be kind of defensive about it. And then they're just all by themselves in that, and not a good place to be. I'm in, this would be north central Colorado. I'm almost to Steamboat Springs. Still, I guess that's still a little bit northwest Colorado. I don't know. I don't have a map in front of me, but I think that's right. Really beautiful up here, though. Wow, look at that wall. Jeez. Yeah, my favorite thing to do here is to ride around a four-wheeler, and Colorado has so many like back roads that are publicly accessible. It's insane. Like Oklahoma, nah, it's kind of embarrassing. Arkansas has quite a few, but Colorado is just, it's got a lot. And they're nice too, because I rented the four-wheeler while my wife was doing some work-related stuff. Drove around and all day long, just drove all over the mountains. It was kind of the foothills, but it's just beautiful up there. And it was crazy because I went up there, like the weather was real nice. It was like 70, 75, but then I got way up in the mountains and I got held on up there, and I was trying to get back to the bottom. I got back to the bottom and I was like freezing. And I didn't even know where I was at. I came out a different way than I came in, and I was just sitting there, and some guy pulled up. He's like, "You all right?" I was like, "I'm good. I don't know where I'm at, and I'm cold." And he was like, "Just leave the four-wheeler there." He said that the rental place, they'll pick it up. He's like, "I can take you back to, your hotel or whatever." And he took me back to the hotel, and I just called the rental place, and they were like, "Oh yeah, we know where that is." I was like, "Oh, that's cool that you can do that." Like, I didn't know that was a thing. I thought you had to return it to the rental place, but it was no problem with them. And the reason I didn't drive it back was because where I came out on was at the highway, and you had to drive like 10 miles down the highway, and the four-wheeler, as far as I knew in that area, it was not legal to be driving down a highway. And I didn't want to go back up in the mountains and go all around that way because it was getting dark and I didn't have time. So they were more than accommodating, which was really nice. Oh, and then the next day I took my wife in our little rental car up to show her around, because the roads were smooth enough you could take a little car up there and drive around. Really well maintained. Most of the stuff in Oklahoma is private, and they are really expensive to get into. I don't even know if Oklahoma has anything that's public. They might, but jeez. That wall of trees, man. is like the perfect time to drive through here because of all the trees changing. I was hoping I could get through all this before it got dark, but I don't think that's going to happen. The sun's going down a lot sooner now than it used to, so. This would be a nightmare if I was fully loaded. This truck would be struggling. We need to go up here for a week with the four-wheelers, maybe two of them. Rent out a place for the week, do some riding, do some camping. I think that'd be pretty fun. Barely made it there, Nissan. And we're back for now. Probably won't last long. Still better service than West Texas. I don't know if my wife is still listening to this because of this crappy signal up here, but hey, if you are, leave me a message and let me know. Getting close to Steamboat Springs. Now I've been to, me and my wife, we went to Steamboat Springs and it was okay, but it was just so like over commercialized that kind of ruined it. I don't know, I don't really like places that are really over commercialized. Just kind of ruins the feel of it. It's too much. We were going to go river rafting. I remember that, and the water was super cold. And we were like asking the people there, they said, "Hey, how wet do you get on this?" And they were like, "Pretty wet." And they're like, "Yeah, we're good." So we didn't really do much of anything up there. Just kind of walked around and yeah. We tried to go to some little theme park up there at Steamboat Springs, and that didn't work out. I forget what happened, but we didn't go. We actually did go, and then we left for some reason. I forget why. That sun is shining in my mirrors. 50 mile an hour. Now the alternative way, which is the way that I came up here, was I went through Denver, and then I cut across to God, I can't remember the name of that road. Like normally you would just shoot up I-25 and then cut across on 80 on I-80, but I took some little highway that made it to where I didn't have to go through Cheyenne because it was kind of out of the way. And then I went across Interstate 80 for about 120 miles, and then I went south like 60 miles, and then I went back west another 30. So this time I was like, instead of going up north again and then then I have to go back south, I'm just going to go diagonally across Colorado. But you pay the price to do this. You gotta go through the mountains. It cuts down 100 miles on the trip. I just wish that there was a, which there might be, I doubt it though, but a Walmart somewhere along the way where I can stop and get some groceries. But knowing Colorado, it probably won't allow trucks to park anyway, so. A lot of bougie Walmarts up here, boys. Now we're in Steamboat Springs. Turn off my Jake brake. That's a neat little place. We got like a stage there for bands, and it's kind of cool. Axe throwing. Little strip mall. It's a neat little town. Look at those houses up on the hills. That's cool. Expensive places up there. They're probably all rentals though. I'm assuming most of the places around here are rentals. Rent out you a house for a week. Take your family up here. I must be thinking of a different place. I don't know. I guess my wife's not in the comments anymore. I thought Steamboat Springs was where we stayed for a few days, or like a day or something. I don't know. Maybe it was somewhere else. This doesn't look familiar. Dream Island. Yeah. Looks like some motels. There's a little downtown area. Okay, Glenwood Springs. Yeah, she said it in the comments. Glenwood Springs is where we went that was over commercialized. Now this place looks all right. This looks like it's still kind of you know, mom and pop's type stuff. I like it. Feels weird driving my semi-truck through this. I'm like the only semi-truck here. Like I'm sticking out like a sore thumb. Yeah, I can make that. Yeah. Man, they got a lot of little shops here. I like walking and going into these little shops, but you know, it's to an extent. A lot of the stuff they sell in there is, you know, I don't want to say garbage, but some of it is like, okay. But this place might not be like that. It might not be. those places up on the hill up there are cool. I gotta get back in the right lane. See, I like to stay in the left lane when I go through a busy area like that, because if you get in the right lane, back where I was at, and see it where all those cars that were parked on the side of the street, you got a higher chance of somebody backing up and hitting you, or you possibly somebody just walking out in the street, walking right into your vehicle. So I like to stay as close as I can to the center of the street, even though a lot of people are going to be mad because they're in the left lane. But when it comes to that, I think it's perfectly fine to just be in the left lane. And sometimes I like to be in it too, because the right lane will be more narrow, or sometimes it kind of leans, and it's just too close to a lot of some of the businesses. They have like little awnings and stuff that stretch out towards the street, and there's like lampposts and stuff, and it feels like when you're leaning, look at this dude, he's looking at me. It feels like when you're leaning on a street like that you could hit something up at top. Like my stacks could hit something. Plus your trailer kind of off tracks, and it's real easy for it to off track and rub up against the curb. That dude was looking at me like he was looking at my live feed. I wonder if he was. Maybe so, maybe so. Oh, there's a Cadoba over there. Of course, there's no way I could find anywhere to park around here. These little mountain communities, they do not want truck drivers. I don't want to say truck drivers. They do not want semi trucks parked here. They just want you to deliver their crap and leave. And a lot of them have ordinances where they make you no overnight parking from 10 o'clock to 8 o'clock, period. And I think I saw one back there, and it was saying, I'm assuming that's mainly for the winter time, but for some of them it's just period for like all the time. I gotta get over, and this car doesn't want to act like it's gonna let me. It is, okay. And we're out of there. We are out of Steamboat Springs, mostly. Getting dark on me, boys. Yeah, direct live. I got my little microphone. That's how I do. I don't mind driving after dark. Dang, dude. People are crazy. I don't mind driving after dark, like if I'm familiar with the roads, but this is gonna kind of suck because I'm not familiar with this area and it's in the mountains, so this should be interesting. Oh, if I see a grizzly, he's gonna get hit. No, I'll slow down for him. I do have a bumper up front that can handle quite a bit, though. I put it up front after I hit a wild hog in Texas, and it tore up the front of my truck, and I was like, man, I need to get a real bumper for this truck. And I got a 350-pound aluminum bumper, quarter-inch. I think it's, no, half-inch. Half-inch aluminum. It's solid. And I accidentally hit a little deer one time. Just nothing I could do. And I mean, it didn't do anything to my bumper. It did its job. I still got a ways to go, but I'm gonna park. Hopefully I get east of Denver because I don't want to drive rush hour Denver traffic tomorrow morning. Well, actually it wouldn't be rush hour. It'd be more. It'd probably be around 10 o'clock. But still, it's Denver traffic, and I don't want to mess with it. So I'm gonna try to get east of Denver tonight, and then tomorrow is going to be a full day all the way back to Oklahoma City. Hopefully I can find a load, but I doubt it because West Kansas is just terrible for finding any loads. I do a lot of loads out to West Kansas, but there ain't much coming out of West Kansas. And I'm headed to Oklahoma City. I don't know what the speed limit here is. My GPS is saying 50. 50 doesn't sound right. I don't know, it might be. It changes so much here. Well, we're going way up right now. Up in the mountain. There we go.